Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. With that, let's get out to venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Standing by with the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. Leading them out at QB is the former North Carolina Tar Heel, Mitchell Trubisky.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing one interception, didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
Our first carry now for Jordan Howard. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of that. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Emerson Griffin in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. Excellent starting position here for the Vikings. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
After the career that he's had in the NFL thus far, you get the sense that he was underrated coming out of college. Not just great intangibles, but the ability to make plays come alive, whether he's exiting the pocket or throwing from within the confines of it.
Move!
the ground. This is Saquon Barkley. Gets past one man. Finding room to the 20. Touchdown, Vikings! Saquon Barkley, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Carlson now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Trubisky with a give to Howard. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss. Another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. A handoff, Barkley running left. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Running left, it's Barkley. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. Boy, some big runs here, Charles, already in this first quarter.
Yeah, if the lanes are there, go ahead and exploit them. But what I like the most, how decisive he is, putting his foot in the ground and going.
Now it's Barkley. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing out 2nd down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14.
All right, now here we go. Rhino!
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
They'll run with Barkley. And able to work his way down to the 16. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've hit the end of quarter 1. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here.
Let's go.
Throwing is Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
They'll run with Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Carlson now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And the Vikings defense ready to head back out there now. And they've created a major first-half storyline with the pressure they've been able to create.
And I know that the good teams adjust from series to series. They make their adjustments on the sideline before they go back out. In this case, I think they might need a little bit more time. They want to get to the half and start figuring out how do they change protections, how do they get the ball in the hands of the passer a lot quicker, make sure he doesn't get hit as often, all those different things. Maybe even run the ball a little bit more. Anything to try and tamp down the pressure.
They go play action here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Everson Griffin in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield, get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. And this is going to be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Here's Brad Nortman now as he's on to punt for Chicago. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now here's Ross. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season. Right? All the off-season preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. On the run, it's Barkley. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look. 6 DBs. From the gun, here's Cousins. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First grab so far for Diggs. It's a 1st down. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not
because
at all.
Those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a 1st down.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. Room here to run. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A minute 57 to go in this first half. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Khalil Mack's starting to get a really big-time reputation as a pass rusher, and rightly so. So explosive off the edge, getting to the quarterback. But he doesn't neglect his run duties as well. How about that tackle right there? Such a package he has, able to play the run and the pass so well.
Barkley. And he'll be taken down at the 34. 3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves him still needing 11 here on 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On On third down, Cousins. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Daniel Carlson now for the Viking field goal. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. The kick by Carlson is good. And that's going to make this a 16-0 ball game. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. Want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. So far they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now sometimes if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
On second down, Trubisky. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Brad Nordman now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at about the 28. So possession goes over here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10.
Ringo, we're going. Let's go.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. They're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Cousins trying to lay one up deep. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A big play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook, but even before that, Let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Carlson on for the PAT. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Carlson now to kick this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll start over at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa.
All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Returning it, John Ross. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
All right, now here we go. Hey,
They'll go to Barkley again. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Third and long for Cousins. Hard throw, incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was third and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
They'll look to set up his blockers. So a change of possession here on the punt, and the Bears take over. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after them now.
2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. A first down carry for Barkley. And some room to work. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Another good run there, and now we're seeing an offense that's imposed its will on a defense. When we talk about that all the time, what does it really mean? It means that the guys on the offensive line, they feel like they can do whatever they want. They're in the huddle saying, run it again. Give us another chance to smack someone and create some space. On the defensive side of the ball, not only have they imposed their will against you, you're almost powerless to figure out what you're doing there, but you got to keep your spirit up at the same time, and they're taking that too. Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On second down, here's Barkley. Oh, he's got some breathing room. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And they'll run it here. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. A handoff to Barkley. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
We're good, we're good. We're going. We're going. Let's go.
On third down, Barkley. And some room to roam now. And he's going to be out of bounds down to the 25. A gain of 13 and also a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Here's a give to Barkley. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here, stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds.
And Owen coughed it up, and this is picked up by the Bears.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
The offense on third down tonight, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. They're looking at third in the nose of the football.
Hey, no, easy, easy. Go ahead, go ahead.
The pitch goes to Barkley. And they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And able to get them inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge.
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Saquon Barkley with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Carlson now to add the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Carlson now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now Trubisky on first down. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. Out of the gun, Trubisky. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
Easy. Go ahead. Go ahead.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Again, it's Barkley. Finding room inside the 40. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now they try the right side here. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, giving them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
Right back to him on 1st down. A spin. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that plus 3.
Open space inside the 10. And he is out of bounds, but not before taking this inside the 10 to the 7. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top. Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So for the Vikings, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1, and they'll return home next week to take